Hey, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today we will be talking about what to do if an arcade 1-up machine won't turn on. Although quite a few people have played an arcade machine, very few people actually own them. With the new generation of arcade 1-up machines being available, all of that is changing. The arcade 1-up machines are revolutionizing the way people are able to play arcade machines, especially in their homes. These machines allow people to have an arcade machine in their home for only a fraction of what a normal single arcade game would cost. So what if you purchased an arcade 1-up machine and you cannot get it to turn on? Although most people would just take the arcade machine back to the store they purchased it from, with online retailers, most people don't want to deal with the hassle of returning it and then having to buy a new one. There are actually a couple of options to fixing the arcade machine if it doesn't turn on for you. We will highlight those options and tell you how to fix your arcade 1-up machine. Arcade 1-up machines are a great invention and allow people of all generations the ability to own an arcade machine in their own home. In this video, we will take you through how to fix common issues that they have, as well as a little bit of history behind these arcade machines. So, why won't your arcade 1-up machine turn on? Your arcade machine may not turn on for many different reasons. The most common issues of the arcade 1-up machines are no video or audio. This is one of the most common issues caused by a malfunction in the power supply or the outlet in which it is plugged in. The machine won't turn on if there is not enough power. The first thing you should check if this happens is the outside of the machine where the power cord is plugged into the wall. Although this may seem pretty stupid, you may be so excited about finally getting your machine set up that when you plugged it in, you did not make sure that the plug was actually plugged all the way into the outlet. The second thing that you should check is the power cord itself. You should look it over and make sure that the cord did not get cut or nicked while the box was being moved or opened. If there is not a cut or any issues with the power cord, you will want to follow the cord into the machine to make sure that it is connected correctly. If there is a cut in the cord should be replaced immediately to avoid any fires. A new power cord can easily be purchased on Amazon or other stores. Sound is working, but you don't have video. This is another common issue with these machines. When you plug in the monitor of the machine, you will need to make sure you are following the directions exactly and plugged all of the cords into the correct places. Video is working, but you don't have sound. The first thing you should check is the game board to make sure that the volume setting is not turned all the way down for some reason. The second thing is to check the cable that runs to the speakers or speaker and make sure they are plugged in properly and do not have any cuts in them. If all the previous points are not the reason, it is likely that your system has a damaged amplifier or a short somewhere in the system. If this happens, your machine may still be under warranty, and you can either call the manufacturer or return the item and exchange it for a new one at the store if you just bought it. The joystick will not work. If your joysticks are not working, you might have a problem with the cords inside the machine. These cords connect the gaming board to the monitor of the machine. You will definitely want to check it over to ensure the wires are connected properly and to ensure that they do not have any frays or cuts in them as well. The buttons on the machine are not working. If the buttons on your machine are not working, it could be very simple or very complex to fix. Of course, everyone hopes it is something simple, but that isn't always the case. If your buttons do not work at all, or only work part of the time, you are going to want to get them fixed. If they are not working at all, it could be the wires are either cut or frayed, or even in the build process, one was missed and wasn't connected. If that is the case, simply plug the wire back in. If all of the wires are correct, and you still do not have working buttons, it may be a sensor or something more serious, where you will need to contact the manufacturer and have them come and fix the machine or simply replace it. History of arcade games. Arcade games were quite popular before the invention of video games. An arcade machine is typically a coin-operated entertainment machine that is typically installed in public businesses such as restaurants, bars, and sometimes malls. It is also known as a coin-operated game. Most arcade games are video-style games, pinball machines, electromechanical games, redemption games, or even merchandisers. The first popular arcade games included early amusement park midway-style games such as shooting galleries, ball toss games, etc. In the 1930s, the first coin-operated pinball machines emerged. These machines differed greatly from their later, more modern electronic machines. Most pinball machines switched to using electronics both for operation and for scoring beginning in 1977. Recently, the arcade 1-up machines have revolutionized the arcade industry again to allow people to have the arcade machines in their homes. Does an arcade machine require maintenance? All arcade game machines require proper maintenance in order to function properly. Maintaining arcade machines can seem overwhelming for inexperienced users. These machines require proper maintenance as the insides of the cabinets of the machines are often riddled with cables, PCB boards, and components that pose a danger due to high voltages. If you skimp on the maintenance of arcade machines, this will make it break down more often and also cost you more money in the long run. Arcade machines use high voltage components and if used improperly can cause bodily harm or damage to the machine. The old CRT tube monitors that carry voltages are capable of killing a person if handled improperly. So, it is better to call for a professional to do the maintenance on your arcade machine if you aren't sure what you're doing. Arcade machines needing tons of maintenance changed a lot with the arcade 1-up machines. They are brand new and can easily be fixed and moved by a single person. The machine itself will normally only require very little maintenance every few months of vacuuming or blowing all the dust away from the inside of the machine. So let's wrap it up. To an extent, you can troubleshoot and service your own arcade machines, but if not done properly, there is a chance you could be injured. You should always take extra precautions by using proper tools and safety equipment. If you are not confident, the best thing you can do is to call a professional and let them service the machine. These professionals are more than capable of servicing any and all arcade machines that you might have. There are many professional services that will help guide you to troubleshoot the problem of your arcade over a phone call, or you can often take the machine to them as well. Although most of the time these machines do not have any problems, there could be a chance you received a defective one that will need to be returned. This has been Matt from RetroOnly.com.